Here we go. Let's talk about the next topic. The Day 8's challenge is basically to talk about a project that you're working on or you want to work on. And provided if money wasn't a problem, I definitely want to start working on tinkering cars. I want to work on cars. And, I've figured it out all step by step. So I'm just going to just spit it out here and hopefully you guys will have a good time. The first step is basically I want to buy a relatively unmolested Honda Civic or Integra, hopefully a Type R variant, and then I want to start with the basics. So what I mean by that is, your fluid changes, you're changing your brake pads, serpentine belts and timing belts and your spark plugs and your injectors and all the other consumables. And what this will make me do is this will be enabling me to do my own servicing basically. And once I do that, then I want to work on the suspension mods. And so what that means is, yeah, say that again. See what that means is. Then I want to work on the suspension mods. So that's your coilovers, that's your sway bars, and that's your bushings. And then I want to work on like proper car brake stuff and mufflers. So that's your brake calipers and your brake discs and your brake lines, and as well as changing the catback exhaust muffler. Then I want to work on the engine itself. So that's your intake, your throttle body, your radiator, your oil pickup, and the pan and the rest of the exhaust piping basically. Then I want to get it tuned and take it back and then take it to the track and start on the basics of track racing. Once I've gone through these basics and I have some experience, I want to eventually buy like a rear wheel drive, like turbocharged Japanese domestic market cars like Nissan Silvia or like Toyota Chaser or Supra or something like that, and like do those steps again from scratch. I feel like Hondas are like one of the cheaper JDMs that you can get out there, and they have heaps of compatible parts from different cars. So I think it'll be a good start, and there's plenty of learning materials out there. So there's plenty of Honda boys out there. So definitely is something that I want to do. There's something about like JDM 90s JDM that pulls me in. I think modern cars are great, but they're more complex and they have more computer components and whatnot. And I'm a 90s kid, so I always like those 90s cars. I think that was like the Japanese golden era of cars. And I wouldn't mind V8s either. So, I love the sound of them too. But if I were to get a V8, I could always get like the Holden Commodore SS or like Falcon V8s and all that kind of stuff. And I tend to steer away from European cars because they live so far away from Australia and like they have like all these like different taxes and all that. So parts are usually very expensive and the services are also very expensive. And they use different like sockets for their cars. They like torque screws and they're just weird. I always like cars. I love to tinker them and work on them, but the JDM car scene is getting really expensive now, and they're getting really old too. Parts are getting harder to find, and all those electrical wires and those plastic parts. No matter how good they're made back in the day, when something's 30 years old, under the Australian temperature, they do crack and they do age over time. So it's definitely something to be wary about. And just the cost of the equipment and the space you need them to twinkle around with them is just too high. I reckon all up the cost would be around 50K to start that journey. And that's with the equipment, the car and the consumables and all that. And then it's just too much money. Maybe if I win the lottery or something, I definitely get into modifying cars for sure. But you know, maybe if I do have the money and I actually get my hands dirty, maybe that will change. Maybe my mind will change. Maybe it is hard and frustrating work. Maybe I won't like it. But it's something definitely that I wanted to try. I mean, I had a look at the script just now, and that was the end of it. Given that it's Christmas today, maybe I'll just call it there. I've been cooking since 12 o'clock, and I'm pretty tired, and it's pretty humid out here. I can't turn on the aircon; it's too bloody fucking loud. So I might just call it there. I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.